Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katie. Today, me and my family are visiting the Ark Encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky. This has been on my bucket list ever since it was built back in 2016. I have been so excited to go here and so happy to share this with you guys. When you get to the Ark, you will buy your tickets and then you will get on one of the buses that they have that come every 5 minutes that will actually take you up the hill to where the Ark is located. So you park in the parking lot and then you take the bus up the hill. So as you're kind of winding up this hill, all of a sudden the Ark will come into view. And this thing is massive, you guys. Even if you've seen pictures, even if you've seen videos, it does not translate to how big this building, this ark really is until you are standing there in front of it. It is amazing. So the first building you will walk into is this kind of auditorium style building. It does have like a little mini gift shop and coffee shop right here at the front, but there is another bigger one at the end of the ark. Then you will walk over or under the beautiful rainbow. This is so pretty and a great place to take pictures. And then right in front of you is the massive, beautiful ark. It is so pretty. As you can see, it is a little bit of a walk. If you do have walking issues, they do have scooters that you can rent. So that might be something that you want if or somebody in your party is not able to walk. Because as you can see, there is quite a bit of walking at the ark. They have these beautiful animal topiaries. Now, we went in February, so nothing was in bloom. They weren't looking as pretty as they usually are during the spring and summer seasons, but definitely a very cool visual as you walk towards the ark. Now we're going to start going up into the ark. As you can see, everything is handicap accessible. Also great if you are a family and you have a stroller or anything like that. Everything is ramp style, so they do have an elevator, but honestly you don't need it because they have these ramps everywhere, so no stairs, which is great. So you're going to wind your way up this tall ramp until you get to the top. That's going to take you to the first floor of the ark. Once you get on board the ark, right away they have tons of different small cages that would show you how the ark could hold the small creatures, the small animals, and all of those sorts of things. Also, in the background, you will hear like a storm, what it would have sounded like to be on the ark during the flood. I'm going to let you listen to that right here. They also are going to show you how Noah and his family might have stored all of the supplies, all of the food, all of the grain, all of the water. It's going to show you how that would have been possible for them to store all of those supplies. And they have tons of stuff to read on the walls everywhere here, you guys. It is very fascinating. Definitely take your time reading all of the information that they have researched. Here's an absolutely beautiful visual of Noah and his family praying to God. These little pots could have held insects, which was really cool to see that process of how they could have done this. Now, this museum is done by Answers in Genesis, which is an amazing organization led by Ken Ham. They have done hours and hours and extensive research into everything that we know from the Bible and everything that we know from other history that proves that the ark existed, that the great flood happened. And so they are using all of that information to tell the story of how it could have been possible. Not that this is exactly how it happened, but that it was possible. And here is a way or multiple ways that it could have happened, that they could have planned for this, that they could have made this happen. It is very, very fascinating. And honestly, of course, I'm a believer. I 100% believe that the flood happened. I 100% believe that everything in the Bible is true and inspired by God. However, I do think that maybe if you're not a Christian, maybe if you don't believe in this or you don't know if you believe in this, I still think that this would be a great place to come, check it out, read all the information, see it with your own eyes, and then, see if your opinion changes. But it really is an amazing architect building this ark. Look at this right here. Look at where you're just looking up to see all of the different decks. And they use the same type of wood described in the Bible, and they use the same technique described in the Bible in the story of Noah to build this replica. And it's just amazing to think about this happening so long ago. If your kids are anything like mine, they probably love the souvenir penny machines. The Ark actually has different souvenir penny machines on each deck or each level of the Ark, and all of them have different designs. So the kids really enjoyed getting to pick those out, and it makes for a very affordable souvenir. I also wanted to mention that there are bathrooms on every level that were really nice and very clean, and each of the women's bathrooms actually had a mother's nursing room, like a private room in them. So I wanted to show you this quick clip because I thought that this was great. Back in my breastfeeding days, I would have loved something like this, and I think it's great that that's available for any woman to use. There was some really great reading material. One of the things that I thought was really fascinating is how the Ark is saying that you didn't need two of every kind of dog, you just needed two dogs. And when you think about it that way, that there was only like 6,000 something total animals on the Ark, instead of the, just thousands and thousands that we think of. It actually, I mean, it still is massive and it still is just an amazingly overwhelming thing to think about. But it does seem to make it a bit more, I guess, believable. That, there would just be two dogs, not two poodles, two German shepherds, two golden retrievers. So I just thought that all of the reading material was just fascinating to me. So besides just showing things about the ark, there actually was a lot of information about other things. Like on this section, it was talking about creation, how God created the world, and what happened on each of the days of creation. So that was really cool because I wasn't expecting a whole lot like outside of just the flood at this museum. So that was actually a really nice, pleasant surprise, was all of the other information that came along with it. And again, a lot of reading. You could definitely take your time here all day reading. I mean, we were here all day, but we also had little kids with us. So little kids, they might not enjoy all the reading, but there was a lot of interactive things, videos, and other things that the kids loved. So after it talks about the creation of the world, it talks about how the world became wicked and a lot of evil, bad things were happening. And that was when the Lord decided to start over. And Noah was the only righteous man alive. So him and his family were instructed to build this ark and to gather the animals. And God was going to save them because they were righteous. And so there are different visuals, as you can see here, that takes you through the whole story. And of course, there's Bible verses to back all of these things up. And it was just very, very fascinating and very sad to look at it like this. But it definitely paints the picture and tells the story very well. In the middle sections of some of the decks were the bigger cages where the larger animals would have been. And so it was really cool seeing how they might have grouped them together by kind and size and kind of, if the animals got along well. It was also fascinating to see their systems for how they could have fed and watered the animals and cleaned the cages and everything else that would have had to go into taking care of the animals for months and months on end on the ark. Also, there were a few different videos that were playing on the ends of the ark where they kind of had it set up like a theater, as you can see here. Some videos that Answers in Genesis has produced talking about Noah and the flood and the ark. And those were really cool. It was also a great spot to like sit and take a little rest because, as I said, it is a lot of walking and reading. So these were really nice areas to be able to sit, take a rest, and watch a little video. This was a fun little area for kids. It was some of the like spookier animals, bats, snakes, foxes, that kind of thing. But it was very interactive for kids. It even had a fun little like tunnel in the dark, and the kids really loved this area. It was a great chance for them to be interactive and to have something that was just specifically for kids. Go in there, Lawson. Lawson! Jump scared.
It scares me. Whoa,
Nothing scary at all.
Oh, look.
jump scare me.
Jump scare.
It's
Ooh.
only like
Another really cool fact is that this ark is 510 feet long. That just gives you a little bit of an idea of how massive the ark is. Um, Another amazing thing, especially if you're a family, if you have young kids, is that kids under 10 are free. That is such a great deal. We go to a lot of museums, a lot of different places, and it is rare to find a deal that good. Sometimes, kids under 2 or kids under 3 might be free, but all kids under 10 are free. It doesn't matter if you have 5 kids or 1 kid. It is a really great deal. And this is just such a family-friendly place. There's so much for kids to do. Keep watching this video because I'm going to be showing you a lot of the other fun things that I know kids will like because I'm a mom of 3 kids and my kids had such a blast here. Another really cool thing is that they showed you how lighting could have worked on the ark. They showed you how the filtration system of how they got water and how they made the water drinkable and everything like things that I never even thought of. They have thought through and already have given you the answers to, which is great because I never even thought of half of this stuff before visiting the ark, and they already had the answer for me. So it's just absolutely amazing. Next up, it was showing Noah's workspace, his library, his office, if you will. And then it also showed you some of the other workspaces where they would do things with woodworking or things with like blacksmith, all of the things that they would have had to do and taken care of during the months that they were on the ark. And these actually featured some pretty cool life-size animatronics that were actually talking and would answer questions. And so this was pretty cool. The kids really enjoyed this part.
Question. My favorite animal. There are so many to choose from. Ooh, I like the tiny hovering bird that can fly in all directions, even backwards. My wife, she likes that tall, long-necked brown and white animal with the fuzzy knobs on its head.
This next section was interesting. It was talking about how a lot of times Noah's Ark has been turned into like a fairy tale and almost romanticized, when in actuality it is a sad story and it shouldn't be, thought of as a fairy tale. It's real, it happened, and it was tragic, but it was God's judgment and God's wrath, and then ultimately God's glory. So I thought that was a very interesting little exhibit. Next, we are going to see the doors to the ark. These doors are massive. This is a great place to take a photo. They actually have a cross that shines on the doors, and it makes for a really good family photo. Next, we're going to be seeing Noah and his family's living quarters. Now, they were on this ark for a long time, for many, many months, and they needed to have separate living quarters, somewhere that they could go to rest, to sleep, to eat, to be together as a family. And There was a sign that I thought was interesting that said, you know, a lot of people think that these might be too fancy, that it would have been very basic or it would have been very simple. However, with Noah working on this ark for so long before it was ready and not knowing how long the flood would last or how long him and his family would be in here, and the fact that he was obviously very skilled with building, of course he would want to make it comfortable for him and his family because they didn't know. They didn't know how long this was going to be their home or how long they were going to be here. And so, you know, the sign that I was reading basically said that they did make it fancy because that's just kind of how they interpreted it, that they thought that Noah would have wanted it to be nice. And it was very nice and it was very interesting to see. Of course, they would want to have their own living quarters, you know, away from all of the animals and just to have a place to go to rest. They're working hard every day, taking care of the boat, taking care of all of these animals, feeding, cleaning, all of those things. And yeah, they were going to need a place to rest and a place to lie down and be comfortable. So to me, it made sense and it was very cool to see it all laid out the way that it was. Towards the end of the arc was actually a beautiful presentation of the gospel and opportunity to accept the gospel, to accept God as your Savior if you had never done that before. There was a beautiful spot right at the end of the arc where they laid it all out, and you could do that if you wanted to. And I just thought that that was so great because that's what the essence of this is the gospel, and the fact that they want people to explore that and to be thinking about that and for God to be working in their lives, in their hearts while they're there exploring this museum. It's just really wonderful and beautiful. At the end of the arc, of course, there is a gift shop, and it is amazing. It's a great place to find a souvenir to help you remember your trip. Everywhere we go, I always try to find a ornament for our Christmas tree. I love every year at Christmas time decorating our tree and seeing all of the ornaments that bring back memories from our travels. And so I found a really cute arc ornament that I had to get. And then, of course, the kids wanted to get a souvenir also. And they have so many options. They have every stuffed animal that you can think of because, of course, all the animals on the ark. And so the kids were able to pick out a little souvenir also. In the gift shop, Ellie, what'd you get?
I got a giraffe that's named Junior.
Oh, Lawson.
I got a giraffe named George.
Emmy?
I got a dog.
So cute. They also have a really great little coffee shop in there. So if you've been walking in the ark and you just need to take a little break, I got a caramel frappuccino that was amazing. They also had like kettle corn and fudge and everything. So a great little place to have a snack after you've taken a long walk. Here's my little ark ornament that I got. Isn't that so precious? I love it. Next up, we were hungry. We decided to eat lunch at Zara's, which is the main restaurant here at the Ark, and it is a buffet, all you can eat style. The prices were very reasonable, and the food was delicious. They had a huge variety. As you can see here on our plates, we went away stuffed and happy. Next, it was time to check out Ararat Ridge Zoo, which is the little petting zoo area. This little section was so cute and so fun. They actually had a wide variety of animals there, and this was really cool. They had a kangaroo exhibit that you could walk through and interact with them. Unfortunately, it was nap time, and all the kangaroos were being very lazy and did not want to get up and see us at all. But it was still cool to be that close to them. And you could see tons of other animals, which was really cool. And then our favorite part was the camel encounter. Now, this does require additional tickets, but I think it was like $3. You got to feed the camel, which was so fun. And they do sometimes do camel rides also, but the day that we were there, they weren't doing them. But that might be an option on the day that you go because that sounds really fun to ride a camel. Oh, he's cute.
What do you think? Okay, you don't want to pet him, you just want to feed him? Okay. Does Lawson want to do one?
Lawson, you sure?
Sure.
Why not? Look, just what Emmy's doing.
Where do I put this?
Dad will hold it. Come here. You don't have to have me touch you.
Yeah, you can just feed him the lettuce.
Next, we went and checked out the Truth Travelers VR experience. This was so cool. Again, this was an additional ticket price. However, we thought it was extremely worth it. If you get the chance to do it, definitely do, because it was such a cool VR experience. And it really brought the story of the flood to life, and the kids just thought it was absolutely amazing.
Subscribe here. See the link in the bio here.
I think my dad is my #1 fan here on YouTube. He's hilarious. But after we did the VR, we decided to go check out the playground. Now, this is a great free thing to do here at the Ark. This playground was probably the coolest playground, and we've been to a lot, but it was probably the coolest one ever. There were so many different fun things for kids to do here. My kids really enjoyed the two, not really zip lines, but kind of zip line type things here. Literally, this was so cool, and it was such a beautiful day. We came in February. It was probably like 60 degrees, which to us from New England, that is amazing in February. And even though there was a lot of kids playing, it didn't feel too crowded because there were so many different options for kids to do. And it's a good thing we came to the playground at the end of the day. If we would have gone there first, I would have never gotten my kids away from it because it was so much fun. So I recommend probably going towards the end of the day also, or you will be stuck there all day long. But it was a really cool and fun playground. The last thing left to do here at the Ark today is to ride the carousel. Now, the carousel is free. It's included with your ticket price, and it is indoors. So that means that no matter the weather, the temperature, if it's raining or not, you can still enjoy it. Now, this is a really, really cute carousel. It is very pretty, and it has all of the different animals from Noah's Ark, and they even have places for wheelchairs to fit, and it's completely, family friendly for anybody. And we had so much fun riding this. We actually rode it like 3 times because there was no line. So the guy just kept let us stay on, and we would switch animals and then just go again and again. Look at Doc. And that is going to be it for our visit to the Ark. We stayed the entire day from opening to closing, and we probably could have stayed a whole nother day. There was just so much to see and so much to do, and we enjoyed it so much. It was definitely worth the wait, and I'm so glad we finally got to go here. If you are ever anywhere near the Ark, please visit. You will not be disappointed. You will love it so much. We also stayed in the hotel that is on the adjacent property right beside the Ark, and we highly recommend that as well. And I have a separate video showing you that hotel. So if you are planning a trip and you need somewhere to stay, I definitely recommend that. Go check out that video. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as that helps out my channel, and also consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.